What's going on, everybody? It's Opportunity here, and we are here with a different video for you guys today. I wanted to make this video because, like myself, a lot of people grew up with Halo. I mean, from Halo Combat Evolved all the way to now. And a lot of stuff is changing, and we know that we can't really fight it, can't change it for the better, can't change it for the worse. It's just we have to let it take its course and see what is happening. But over the years, Halo Infinite has not done very well and has received backlash over and over again by pro players, casuals. The entire community have band together and said, hey, this needs to end. This needs to be changed, or you won't have a player base anymore. Where I'm going with this is that 343 announced during Halo Championship Series on Sunday that they are announcing the rebrand for Halo Studios. Honestly, what I think it is from the backlash that they have received over the years of game types that are being added in, tweaks to arena ranked mode that didn't need to be adjusted, and more things like when they took out Big Team Battle and replaced it with Fiesta, but the community was pissed off. So guess what? They brought it back. That was the only W that I actually saw from Halo. And then things got worse when it became everything behind a paywall, more skins, more gun cosmetics, all behind paywalls. Battle passes going to paywalls too. It's not what we grew up with. And like I said, there was a big change. There's always a change in the gaming industry. Way to monetize, way to make more money. Now the thing is, I did see that over the years, or the year, this article right here, that there has been a few losses. And basically I'm gonna just go over bits of it. 343 was saying, hey, we're here to stay despite the layoffs. Everybody remembers the layoffs, last year and the year before with Microsoft, where they were laying off 1,800 people plus just from different areas. 343 and Halo, they said, hey, we're here to stay. Even though there's the layoffs, we're here to stay. We're working on this game, we're finishing the game. When that happened, they said, hey, we're gonna also do some changes, which are, restarting the development cycles, changing out jobs, leadership. That's what mainly got laid off, where the leadership, they had a huge change of that. So hopefully that makes a change. Hopefully that's a good change towards the new and improved Halo Infinite that will be updated or coming out. So what was really special here is that they are changing over to a new engine. At first they were using Slipspace's engine that was fairly new, but they were still using some old parts of the Blam engine, or what you would say is the Halo engine. If you guys don't know what the Blam engine is, that is the engine that made Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, and Halo 3. And I believe Halo ODST as well. There are still pieces that were used from that engine going into Slipspace. And Slipspace was still fairly in its development cycle while they were trying to work on Halo Infinite. But apparently everything fell apart. Everybody fell flat on their faces. The system, the engine fell on its face as well. And it was just a huge dumpster fire, especially for money. So apparently in 2023, they have been talking about using Unreal Engine, but they were skeptical about it because they weren't sure if they change the engine, will it change how Halo will feel, how it was in the past, how it felt. Well, I can tell you, using the Blam engine and going to Slipspace engine, we already knew how it felt, and it wasn't good, as you can tell. Basically what happened with Slipspace, how it fell on its face, is not many people knew how to use the tech. They didn't know how to use the engine really. And because of that, basically all people's favorite modes, like as you can see here, Assault and Extraction, they couldn't make it because the engine just couldn't design that game. They couldn't design that mode. So how did Unreal come into play, really? Basically, when they were having the layoffs, people losing their jobs, the drawdowns, whatever you want to call it, there's actually people working on prototypes in Unreal Engine. Now, me personally, myself, I have used Unreal Engine. I've used Unreal Engine 4 for art and a little bit of designing, and then also I've used Unreal Engine 5 for game design. And it can look like it's very complex when doing game design for it, but actually once you learn how to do scripting with nodes and blueprints and how things actually work, it's actually fairly simple. There's so many things that you guys can do, from making platformers. You can instead of making it 3D, you can make it 2.5D. You can make it 2D if you wanted to. It's a little tough to do that one, but you can make it. And it's fairly simple. The engine's almost hand-holding, pretty much. As long as you know how to do blueprints, you got it. Now, if you're going, actually, I can't even say this. If you are a character animator and you are learning how to rig, trying to learn how to rig, I've learned rigging in Maya, but Unreal Engine 5 came out with an update where you can actually make the rig in the engine itself by just like clicking on the character's leg and say, hey, I need this bone to be at this leg, and it will build a rig for you. You're just dragging, is plug in and play. That's all it is. And you create a full-on rig that you can use to do animations and save your animations there too. On top of that, they added textures, they added materials that you can actually create in the engine and apply it without using other programs like Substance Painter, like Substance 3D Designer. The reason, like, one thing I'm just very curious of is why didn't they use Unreal in the beginning? When 343 or when Bungie split off and 343 was made, how come they didn't start off with Unreal Engine? Why did they go with Slip Space? Dang, that was a hard one to say. Even though it wasn't finished or anything, I'm guessing it was the person that was in charge of it, which is David Berger, who left in 2022. He was actually the person that was lead design of the engine Slip Space. But because he left, who was there really to, you know, build up that engine to keep it going? So I think that's where the problem really happened. Also want to say, like, looking at this last paragraph, it is crazy that, you know, Microsoft declined to comment. The revamped strategy wouldn't be surprising without the layoffs. Obviously, there had to be some changes. But with Infinite, you know, being well received on launch, delayed modes, seasons, and even a canceled split screen mode. So there was supposed to be a split screen. I believe it was supposed to be for campaign. But you guys remember what happened? Was it last year or the year before? Where they got rid of the campaign team. They were like, campaign didn't do so hot, so they all got laid off pretty much, and there wasn't anything that you can do for the campaign mode after you finished it and it was out there. This isn't the only game that they worked on. They also worked on Master Chief Collection, which did fairly well because we already knew what the game felt like, how it's supposed to be, and they did very well with that one because all they did was just up the graphics really and the quality of it. So hopefully what they do with this next Halo game, or if they're just continuing with Halo Infinite, hopefully they try not to do this whole reinvent the wheel type of thing, where, as you can see lately in the gaming industry, all the studios that are doing that are falling flat on their faces. Just saying. Yeah, looking at this number right here for Halo Infinite, they used to have 100,000 players when it first launched and it was booming. Now they're down to 4,000 players. And most of these players are probably pro players, competitive players that are trying to make it into the Halo scene because they want to make a living out of it. And also on top of that, they have content creators. There may be a few casual players out there that are still playing Halo, which, don't worry, you guys aren't forgotten. But it's just crazy to see that a game that did so well, franchise that was so amazing, is down to 4,000 players. I don't think there's ever been a Halo game that actually had this low of players. I mean, out of the whole thing. I even think Halo 4 and Halo 5 had more players than this, which is very concerning, especially Halo 5. Again, Microsoft has said that they yet to announce a new campaign content for Halo Infinite. Halo fans are rightly had the reason to be worried about the franchise's future. Yeah, we're all worried about it. I'm worried about it because we grew up. Some of us were born way before Halo even came out, and we became huge fans of Halo. That is basically, that's the poster child of Microsoft, of Xbox. Because you already know PlayStation, they have their mascots. I mean, they had Metal Gear, God of War, Final Fantasy, Uncharted 2. Come on, the list is there. It's there. You guys can look up so many exclusive PlayStation titles for PlayStation itself. But what does Xbox have? Gears of War and Halo, pretty much. That's all we got. But we already know those are going to PC because Xbox and Microsoft have announced that they want to push things more to PC as well. What does this mean for Halo? What does it mean for the community? I'm not entirely sure with the whole changes and everything, how it's going to happen. It seems like most of the team is there. And I don't know if the problem was from the higher ups that were let go or if it's still people in the team. We won't know until we see some updates and also how it plays on Unreal Engine. But they do have a video here. I do want to play the video, and this is the first time for me seeing this video. So I want to see what they're talking about. We'll probably break it down. I just want to have my thoughts on it. You guys let me know if you guys have seen the video as well. What are your guys' opinions on this? So let's go ahead and see what's going on.
Chris Matthews, take one. Mark.
This is Casey Wu, take one. Mark.
I was told that I can just be my authentic self, Chris.
For 6 years, I don't want to be in front of a camera.
There's so much to do and so much fun to be had when you play Halo that I feel like I never run out of things to do.
I love intricate stories that take place across lots of different worlds, have lots of different meaningful characters.
What made Halo successful at the beginning? What is the legacy of Halo, and what's the soul that we want to bring forward, and what's the craft of making Halo games, and how do we set our studio at best to go deliver on that?
So I'm gonna say for now, just for me personally, how it was for Halo, what made it so special and so unique is that, yes, going to different areas, going to different levels, different maps, different worlds, and having a very impactful storyline. That was always been a thing. It's always been amazing. Every time when a Halo game ended, like in Halo Combat Evolved, I thought it was gonna be, that's it. He takes off his helmet, we never see what he looks like, and then that was it for Halo. But it did so well that Halo 2 came out. And Halo 2 came out with amazing things. I mean, the amount of stuff that they debuted and they announced at E3, on TV, and Game Informer magazines, it was mind-blowing. We got everything that was pretty much revolutionized FPS gaming in general. The control figurations of a first-person shooter came from Halo. Going from a first-person forced to third-person mode when you're in a vehicle came from Halo. The amazing rank systems that we have, some of them kind of fell off, but it came from Halo. Look at Halo 2's rank system. That is like the iconic, legendary, like template of having a rank system. Multiple modes, each mode has their own ranking. You win, you get points, you go up a rank. You lose points, you go down rank. If you're not in that category or in that field of that level. Wasn't hard. Now, I will say, if there was some modern tools that I would like to have in that old rank system, is have a progression bar of how many matches it's going to take, or how many wins or points that we need to get to the next level. That's the only thing. Because I remember playing Halo 2, playing Team Snipers on ranked, and just constantly at level 40, getting so many kills, getting wins, and trying to figure out when that number is going to change from 40 to 41. That's the only difference. That's the only issue that I've had. But it made me so anxious, and it made me want to play more to see that until I saw that number change. I got to 41. Actually, I got to 46, and then that was it. I stopped playing because, honestly, I got burnt out. It happens to everybody, especially if you're very passionate about a game, but you are playing it hours and hours on end, you just get burnt out. So there are many things, many iconic things that came from Halo. I remember dual wielding came in. When Xbox Live was announced for Halo 2, it blew everybody's minds. A lot of people jumped on and made Xbox Live accounts and started playing Halo. I was one of them. My account is, 20 years old? More than 20 years old, actually. Just saying. That's how long I've been playing Xbox. And yes, Al Pacino account is 20 years old, 20 plus years old. It's insane.
We had to make a change in order to take us into the future.
When I first heard about Halo moving to Unreal Engine, my first thought was, this is going to be a really hard secret to keep.
I think fans are going to be excited about the future of Halo because of the possibilities that are afforded us by using Unreal.
Before, we really had to split.
I will say that when it comes to Halo with their engine, or with Unreal Engine and being on Halo, will be exciting to see what they make, because you can make multiple modes. You can make vehicles. You can just make anything that you want to make, all in the engine. They have it all there. Their artists and everybody, they have it all there. You don't have to use different programs and other software and engines to like import in there, unless they're going to be using their assets from previous Halo titles to import into Unreal Engine. So if they're going to do that, hopefully it works for them. If not, then a lot of stuff that they got to recreate.
Split our focus in thinking about building an engine, supporting it, being really kind of a tech company and a studio at the same time. Since
that's a big thing that what she just said about being a tech company and a game company. The tech part was working on Slipspace, and then the game company was working on Halo Infinite. Now the thing is, they were working on both instead of having their focus on one or the other. You can't really build a successful game off a half-made engine, because there's certain things that just do not work. Now, I would understand if it's a brand new engine and Halo was never made. This was like the very first Halo, which I don't know, it might have had a different point of view. I'm not entirely sure, but the fact that it was a prestigious, actually I want to say it is a prestigious franchise that people grew up with. Like, I mean, people that were 10 years old that are now 30, damn near 40 years old. Come on now. Everybody wants to see this game succeed. They do. So Unreal Engine is all there. It's all built. Now, my question is, for the designers, do they know? Do many of them know how to use Unreal Engine? Are they going to need new people? Either way, hopefully that the game works out for them. And let's see what else that we're talking about.
Since we've made the change to shift to UE, we can bring Halo forward in ways that people have never seen before while still being true to what Halo is.
The Foundry project was an effort to show ourselves how far we can push things using Unreal 5.
New studio art director, Chris, came to me and said, hey, I have this crazy idea.
He said, hey, there's this thing called Project Foundry that I want to do. Let's make it happen.
Foundry.
So what you see here right now, and I can tell you right now, they are making a material. It's a material graph. These are what this is what blueprints are. This is a series of nodes that are connected that would make either, that are making pretty much code. This is like a visual type of coding, I guess you would say. And it's only for Unreal Engine. But yeah, they are making materials, and you can use this for like making fire, you can make flames, you can make a gun bend a certain way. Like, as long as you apply it onto the surface of that polygon, it can do whatever it wants. You could do whatever you want to the material. You can make it look very cool. If you want to make a full-on like holographic freaking AR, it's amazing. It's really cool to see.
So the Foundry in Halo lore is the place where Halo rings are born.
So this is made in Unreal Engine. This is what it all looks like.
It's not a game, it's a research project for our studio so we can prepare ourselves for the next steps of making Halo games.
See, looking at that looks way better. It looks so much better.
The original Halo franchise was a graphics showcase. It was best in class. That's what Halo was when it first was released, and that's what Halo needs to be again.
Oh yeah. The energy sword, looking how crazy and crisp it looks. It actually has that effect of like
so once
the
Project
energy
Foundry had
plasma.
been approved, we took the entire creative team and we ideated on 3 locations, something old, something new, and something really alien.
We had the Pacific Northwest, which is sort of traditional Halo biome.
We were trying to shove as much foliage in there as humanly possible to make it really feel like you're on a hike in the, Cascades.
Okay, so they try to make that one look like Washington. It's like they were just saying. Try to make it look more like Washington, which is cool. It's very awesome. The foliage and everything looks amazing. Hold on, let me go back. It looks beautiful. Everything, it looks amazing. My concern, like I have with all of this, and I believe they got it, it's just the optimizations. That's what concerns me, because there could be issues where the game would crash or you cause like stuttering just because of how the optimizations and everything is. So that's one of the big things that I'm very concerned about. But like I said, we just gotta put our faith in their hands and hopefully that they deliver and we don't have issues.
Possible to make it really feel like you're on a hike in the, Cascades.
The Cold Lands, which was the second biome that we took on, it was more of a technical showcase where we could play with shaders, we could play with deformable landscapes and terrains.
They're using
Unreal
lumens.
affords us more opportunity than we've ever had in the past.
On the surface, it might just look all like snow, but how many
So when he's saying playing with the shaders, it's basically, this is, honestly, you can make this beam of light. All it is a cylinder, and you just stretch it all the way out to whatever height you want. Probably you'll have some cloud cover because that's already embedded in the engine. Is you can actually add clouds into it, and you can just add like have fog in there. Change. This is the fog density that they have in here too. And basically what this is just an emissive light that is very simple to make. It's a material that you just attach onto the cylinder and it causes that glow. Now you can put some more blueprints or coding into it to where you can modify it, where you can have it look more like, more radiant, how it looks, how it's like kind of glaring, like, shimmering off like from the wind and everything as well. Or you can just have it where it's just like a solid piece of light, or it's just like a light pole, something.
With deformable landscapes and terrains, Unreal affords us more opportunity than we've ever had in the past.
You know, on the surface, it might just look all like snow, but
now this is where I wanted to pause right here, because this is the overall layout of Unreal Engine. And basically right here, what they're showing is, so they use the landscape tool. From what I'm looking at on the top right of the viewfinder, is they use the landscape engine, or landscape tool in the engine. And then also they just added in like the rocks and everything like that. I'm not sure if they did a landscape painting of it and did like procedural for the rocks, or if they just placed it in there. But it looks like it was sculpted and then they put some of the assets, like start sprinkling them in there. But the snow looks amazing. Snow looks really good.
But how many layers of things combine to really give that winter look?
And then our third biome was the Blightlands, which is any land that's been completely taken over by the flood.
I wanted to give our team the opportunity to really express an alien world, a really alien world, taking something way further than they may have actually done in previous Halo games.
What's impressed me about watching the Halo team work in Unreal is how beautiful everything looks, how incredible the environments look. I don't think we've seen anything quite like it in Unreal Engine before.
Fortunately, we have a studio that's really passionate about Halo, about the look and the feel, and I think there's a lot of hunger to really collaborate, to move forward together.
Foundry was an initiative that touched on every part of the creative process, everything from concept art, VFX, characters, vehicles, and weapons, everything from concept art.
Sorry, I saw the red. So the red is an event. So this is probably some sort of actor that is being used. Invert, what? Hold on. Switch pawn, true, in power. Is this an ability? Is that a power-up ability? Power, base, XP. Wait, unless this is when you kill, no. It could be on a kill. It could be like when you get a kill, you get a certain amount of XP. Default value is 0. It looks like a, or is that an 8? I'm not entirely sure because it's blurred. Powers, base, XP. So there's a lot of float. There's a lot of float nodes and stuff in here too. I wonder. Multiply. So this is it looks like an XP system. I'm sorry. I'm just too invested in Unreal Engine, and I love it. I loved using this when I was in college. Yeah. So it looks like they're working on an XP system.
Effects, characters, vehicles, and weapons to make the future games of Halo.
Creating an asset, taking this design, now we can really dig into material foundations. What is it actually made of? How is it physically accurate to the world? Now we get to take all the wonderful legacy assets that we have, bring them to life, and bring them to today's standards.
We are really excited to be not just working on multiple projects, but also expanding our studio.
As a lifelong Halo player, I think the game's only going to get better when we get those new, unique perspectives and people bring in their expertise and passion for the Halo franchise.
We are looking for new talent as the projects that we're working on kind of get further and further into their development cycles.
And it is great to be part of a team that's growing because you can kind of see that force multiplied as people come in and take on challenges and you can do more.
Imagine a place where you have the commitment that this is what we want to do, Halo games, and create those experiences. And you can express your talent, your creativity, and your professional ambitions in that place.
We're looking for designers, we're looking for artists, we're looking for engineers.
It feels like a new beginning for the studio in a lot of ways, and I think that's pretty rare.
And I think we arrived now at a point where you see the beginnings of people to start to believe in the process.
There's so much momentum that we have.
It's good. That is good. People are starting to believe in the process. I think what it is it might have been the old heads. Honestly, I think it might have been the old heads that were the ones in the leadership positions that were probably putting a cap on certain things and limited, the creativity that some of these artists and designers wanted to put into the game, but they were like, no, this is not going to be good. So that's why I'm hoping with this update of Halo Infinite, if they're still continuing with that, or if it's possible that they're going with a completely new Halo game, that we see that fire and that passion that we got from, Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, and ODST, and all these other games. So hopefully that happens.
Have right now, and focus and clarity on not just what we're building, but why we're building and kind of this next phase of Halo.
The worlds that we're building, the stories that we're going after.
The potential.
Okay, so he is using Substance Painter still, which is awesome. That is insane. And he's doing it on tablet. Interesting. Substance Painter, and then there's a lot of materials that are gonna be like thrown in there. So they're not gonna be using it. They're not gonna be using the Unreal Engine material maker. They're going to just take the material in this, which are basically gonna be texture files, which are pictures, and they're gonna be imported into Unreal Engine, and then they're gonna throw it onto a material like the normal mapping, the normal UVs, the color, the base color. You got your roughness, you got your metallics, something else too. I can't remember what the other one was. There's so many things, like you could do opacity if you want like glass or something, and then also there's emissive. There's like so many things that you could just like trigger on there if you want to, or not. So it's gonna be very interesting, very, very, very interesting. And I know that USNC symbol, I know that's a stencil. I know that is, which ain't hard to make. All you have to do is just go into Photoshop, take that icon, flip it to black, and then just print that out. Or not print that out, save it and import it into Substance Painter, and then just turn it into a stencil. So then you just go in there and it goes. And all you have to do is like make the stencil a normal, and just you can honestly just place it on the normal, but sometimes I know people just place it on this right here. They just place it on this. Usually there's like a map, like a normal or like a UV map somewhere. Oh, right here. So this is the UV map window, and everything's like spread out and flat. It's just so they can get the good the values and shades in. So
Halo right now is huge.
Halo Infinite was the last remnants of how we made Halo games in the past. That was our recipe. And what we are doing right now, we're changing that recipe.
Heck yeah. So it's New Dawn. And there's their new studio. It's called Halo Studios. Okay, like I said, it looks so good right now. Just how everything is now. I wonder for like Forge mode and things like that. Wait a minute, am I looking at that correct? Is it a light? Wait, no, this is okay. It's the ring. Never mind. It's the Halo ring. I was gonna say, is it a light that's going off of this? That's somehow projecting back here, but never mind. It curves in. It curves in a bit. So it's the ring. Never mind. I messed up. But just looking at this is insane. It looks cool. It looks very cool. Yeah, it's a work in progress. Content rendered. So like you saw the camera movements and everything that they did there. They're using the camera rig and rail system that you can actually make in there. So you can have like the camera pan in, pan out, go up, down. You can do like barrel rolls. You can do loops if you want to. It's actually interesting to use, and it's really fun to use too. So it's actually very, very, very cool to see. But we did see that. Yeah, I want to know what they're going to do with like Forge mode, if they're going to have a Forge mode, which I hope they do, to let the Forge community make maps, make crazy intense maps to get featured on community playlists, or to be hopefully put into like official playlists. So we did see, okay, so it's just pretty much everything that we looked at. But like looking at the weapon, see how like you could see like the damage, the scratches and everything. It's not like when you're actually playing the game, you're going to be looking at that, unless they have an inspection mode where you can like really look at the weapon or something. But it's really cool that they're doing all this. That's stenciled on. That's modeled. That is, I could be baked on. I'm not entirely sure. And this one too, this could be baked on. But anything that doesn't make a silhouette change is like they usually like bake something on top of it. But it's pretty cool. It's really cool to seeing this stuff. And like I said, I hope that they do well. They said that they are looking for people. So if you guys have been using Unreal Engine for a long time and you guys want to apply for the positions, I highly recommend doing it. I mean, let's see, senior let's see, hard surface artist. Let's see the details of this because I'm very curious about. I just want to look at one, which is this one. Qualifications: bachelor's degrees or certificate in design, fine arts, human computer interaction, and 2 years of experience in art design or art related field working on computer games or entertainment or equivalent experience. 2+ years of hard surface art production experience for console, PC games or equivalent. And you make 98 grand, almost 100,000 a year starting out. That's the base pay range, is 98,000 to almost 200 grand a year. There are different locations to work, specific work locations within San Francisco Bay Area and New York metropolitan, which those can change because of the pay, which is cool, or because of the cost of living. So that's really cool. They have technical artists, okay, lead game designer, lead game systems designer. So yeah, I mean, if you have experience in the game industry, which is kind of tough for a lot of us because we're like brand new and we're like, I don't know. But if we have experience in the game industry, we want to work on stuff like that. Just saying, that'd be really cool. It'd be really, really, really cool. So where am I going with this? They have a lot of stuff. It looks very promising. It looks very, very promising. But the issue is there's been a lot more cons that outweigh the pro. Now, we do want this game to succeed. Hopefully, everybody wants to see this game succeed. I do. But hopefully it's going to be for a new game, not, you know, an update to Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, I understand people, we've had many years on this, but I think it's time for a new game, honestly. And what better way to do it is by using the new engine that you guys are using Unreal Engine. Kind of getting with the times, I guess, with the other studios that use Unreal Engine as well. So I'm just saying, like, it'd be really awesome to see this. But that's it for me yapping away, talking about Halo. What do you guys think about the new studio, Halo Studios? What do you think about the new engine, Unreal Engine, that they're going to be using? And what do you guys think about the new things that they're implementing? You guys think it's going to do well? Do you think it's going to be a flop? Well, I want to say a flop, but do you guys think it's going to not do well? Will it bring back players? Will the intense graphics bring back players? Will the game be functionable? That's always one thing I've always been talking about when it comes to video games nowadays in the AAA industry. You need to make games that function first before throwing all the artwork in. Will the game be optimized where we won't get stutters or anything? And because it's a new engine, guess what? Now we have a whole new audio system that's gonna be put in. So hopefully there isn't gonna be issues with the audio. So we'll see what happens. And hopefully this comes to console, especially Xbox, because I don't want to play on PC. I like playing Halo on a console. But that is it for me, guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about Halo. It's gonna be good, it's gonna be bad, whatever. Or you're just like, I don't care, I'm gonna play another game. Like, I don't know, some people are gonna be playing Black Ops 6. So that's it for me. I'll see you guys later. All right, Salvatino. Peace.